Hello, I'm Melanie George, Associate Curator and Director of Artist Initiatives at Jacob's Pillow.
Hello, I am Ali Rosa Salas, Associate Curator at Jacob's Pillow and the series producer of Body Language, which is our inaugural dance film series presented in partnership with Nowness.
The Body Language series features 3 films that introduce us to the gravity-defying movement of Bill Shannon, the dedicated practitioners of the New York City style of Chinese square dancing, Guangcheng Wu, and the Irish dancing, TikTok phenom, Morgan Bullock.
Welcome to this very special presentation of the Body Language series, where we'll get to hear directly from the artists themselves on their favorite moments featured in the films. We hope you enjoy.
I knew I was an artist by the time I was 13. That evolved out of using performance as a tool to survive. My greatest inspiration is finding answers. It's been a guiding force for as long as I can remember, you know. My work became a way to dissect what was happening in my life. So you're seeing a very long history and familiarity with the crutches, and you're seeing over top of that layers and layers and layers of the creative process built on this language that is second nature to me. It's transcendent. And that's when you're in the zone of feeling and listening and being without arranging, thinking, or composing. That's where you escape.
Bill, it's so wonderful to be able to connect with you in this way after the premiere of your Nowness film as part of Body Language. I have some questions that I'd love to ask you about the process of choreographing and being featured in this film. My first question is that in the beginning of this film, you speak about performance being a tool of survival when you were young. And I was interested to hear more about your earliest memory of knowing that dance was a life path that you wanted to pursue.
Okay, well, first of all, I didn't really choose it as a life path. It kind of happened to me. So those creative movements, when I say, they were for survival, what's missing from the edit in that it was like social survival of a peer group. So I wanted to keep up with my peer group and I had to invent ways to keep up. And so the survival sort of word, out of context of it's my peer group and I'm a kid, is really, so that's really where I realized, that creative movement was a solution to a lot of the problems I was experiencing. You know what I'm saying? So I had to come up with solutions in that way.
Thank you so much for that answer. There are so many signature moves that are performed in this work that exhibit your virtuosity with navigating crutches and skateboard. I wanted to know in the film, what move is your favorite to execute and why?
I don't really have a favorite move. I have classifications of movements, a utilitarian movement, traveling movements, aesthetically, lyrical movements, staccato movements, and trick moves. And so I guess if I think about a trick move that I did in this piece, the rolling no footer is what I call it, where I'm on the skateboard and I lift my feet off the board and it's just the crutches holding me up and I'm rolling down the street. That was the most technically challenging move to pull off. So maybe not my favorite, but the most challenging for that particular project.
Thanks, Bill. And my final question for you is that the entire film is situated outdoors at public parks and public space around New York City. And I'm wondering if you could share which location was most exciting for you choreographically.
I really had a lot of fun with the stairs. I enjoy the challenge of flowing downstairs and kind of having a lyrical presence and then also gliding down the stairs. So it looks like it's very easy when actually it's very hard to do that move and make it look easy. So I guess for me, out of all the terrain, that was probably, the most challenging to me and therefore the most interesting and had the most dynamic creative possibilities. There is a scene in there where I'm gliding down and then I do a 360 rotation in the glide and continue down. And, that sense of like getting something in the can, like when you're shooting with that kind of camera, with that kind of team, and then you get it in the can and you just have this elation, so yeah, the stairs would be it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Bill. It was really a pleasure to be able to collaborate with you on this project. And we're also super looking forward to welcoming you to The Pillow this summer.
I'm so honored to be coming out there to perform, and this whole project with Nowness and Jacob's Pillow and the video project was also, I'm so thankful for that, project and what came out of it. And, to just drop another, kind of dance short video that just clean, crispy, clean dance on film,
Oh, yeah. We love it, too.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful.
Thank you so much, Bill. We look forward to welcoming you to the Berkshires this summer.
虽然我已经进入了中老年了，但是我从舞蹈当中，我能吸取很多的养料。内心来说，我自己可以达到一种新的高度。
那中国广场舞非常流行，因为很多人提前退休了，那他们有时间，然后还有精力。跳广场舞的人的年纪也差不多相仿，然后他们有共同的话题，一起跳舞，不单是一起回忆以前美好的时光，也是一个交朋友的一个机会。
If you think that, oh, I'm not pretty, oh, I'm shy, I don't remember, it's that then you are not pretty. It's the spirit. You have to think about, oh, I'm the prettiest in the world, oh, I'm dancing, everybody look for me. You know, the feeling going out. You are the prettiest. And enjoy the dance.
大家在一起没有别的想法，就是跳舞，全情投入，注重自己的身体，注重自己的呼吸。那这种幸福感，就是你在一起跳完之后，你才会有。
I think I'll keep dancing until I even cannot move. You have to dance. You have to dance. This is the one thing to keep you alive.
Wonderful. Vera, thank you so much for joining us. I'm really excited to have this conversation with you about this incredible film that you are part of. My first question to you is, what is your favorite dance that is performed in this film and why?
Okay, my favorite dance in this film is the dance with the big yellow fan, the dance that we filmed in the East River before the sunrise. This dance is the most complicated dance among the three dances. The song we use for the dance is called Jiu. It's about a young girl fall in love with her husband in her younger age, and then later on has to send her husband to a battlefield. So the dance allows dancers to express their feeling, let them have opportunity to act. And you can see from the video, dancer starts as a happy mood as a young girl. They act like a young girl, even they don't look like a young girl, but they express their feeling like a young girl. And later on, they have to send the husband to the battlefield, so the feeling have to be a little sad. So in the film, you can see at the end, the feeling changed dramatically. And with the background, the sunrise and the fan, it's very beautiful. And there's a special dancer in the film, in this dance, because she's the youngest dancer. Normally, Guangchang Wu attracts a lot of women at their retirement age, but this young girl, she is in her late 20s, just graduated from Columbia University, got a master's degree, but she doesn't mind dancing with people much older than her, because the dance is complicated, challenging, and she really put her efforts to the dance. And you can see there's a special moment of her dance, a very dedicated and very passionate dancer. You can see from the film.
Thank you so much for that, Vera.
You're
My
welcome.
next question for you is, this film features some iconic landscapes in Manhattan's Chinatown. And I was wondering if you could share which location in the film has the most special or significant meaning to you personally.
Yes. There's one dance filmed in Chinatown Division Street, the dance with handkerchiefs. This group dancers, they are in their late 60s and mid 70s. They go to Chinatown almost every week to get together, dance together, and with the handkerchief younger dance, it kind of reminds them of the special time they have when they're in China during the China Cultural Revolution. But in New York, they have a chance to get together because of Guangchangwu became so popular in New York, Chinatown Park. So they choose the Division Streets. After the dance, they can go to have dim sum together. So we'll talk about their grandchildren. Like, it's a social dance and a meetup place for them. And the location is great for them because it's so close to the train station and it's very easy for them to commute.
Thank you so much for that. Also a meaningful place to me too. My final question for you, Vera, is about the narration in the film. We hear from several of the dancers featured in the film speaking about how they plan to continue to dance as elders. And I wonder if you could share more about why you think Guangchangwu resonates or is so popular with elder dancers.
Yes, actually, Guangchangwu started from mainland China in the late 1990s. I didn't see any Guangchangwu in New York back then, but started from 2010, I think, with a lot of immigrants from mainland China. And they kind of bring this Guangchangwu habit to the park. Since New York, there's a part regulation. They don't usually go outdoor. They only go outdoor during the summertime. They like to continue the dance is because the Guangchangwu allow them stay healthy mentally and physically. It also is a social place for them. And the people, usually immigrants here, they have an economic foundation. So they can afford the time and they can also afford to purchase costumes. So if you can see from the film, there are different costumes that they wear, like the big skirts. And that group, for every dance, they will buy costumes. And they like continue the Guangchangwu because when they dance, they forgot all their worries. And it proves after you dance, not every day, like 3 times a day with your friends, you don't need to see doctor for a whole year.
Thank you so much, Vera. And we are deeply appreciative for this collaboration and to get insight into the incredibly vibrant, interesting, creative world that is the Guangchangwu dance community in New York City's Chinatown. We're honored as Jacob's Pillow and Nowness to partner with you on learning more about this really, really important movement. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your producerial and creative collaboration on this. We couldn't have done it without you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. all the performers enjoy dancing and enjoy the filming day together. And they said if there's one more chance, they will do it again and again.
I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. It's definitely not the last time you'll be hearing from me. So I really appreciate it.
I remember watching a video of Riverdance for the first time and being obsessed with it. It's just not a natural way to move your body. I would practice to music that I really liked listening to. I would get really excited when I found a song that goes with a step that we would be doing to traditional music. Like, what else can I do to this? Like, how else can I make this work for me?
Treat me like a model, treat me like I'm reckless. Summer nigga, everybody really wanna eat for breakfast. Drop me off at the movies, take it to the mall, pop my collar phones tomorrow. Cause stranger things have happened, the making of the madness of love.
I'm also just so grateful to be someone that people who look like me can look up to, because I didn't really have that when I was younger and I was Irish dancing. I kind of just had to see myself doing it and know that that's what I wanted to do.
Morgan, it's so nice to be able to speak with you about your Nowness project. I had a few questions that I wanted to ask you about it so that viewers could get a deeper look into your process and inspiration behind the film. My first question for you is about the two different Morgans that we witness in the project. We see one of you who's in casual athletic clothing, and then another Morgan who's in competition regalia. So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the differences between those two personas and the different choreographic choices you've made between the two personas.
I think the two different Morgans in the film really represent two different sides of Irish dancing. The one side that is more traditional and more, for lack of a better word, rigid in style, which is more like what I would have been doing when I was competing throughout the years. And then in the blue athletic casual outfit, I'm really kind of just freestyling and, you know, using that training, that traditional training, but making it kind of my own in a way, and, you know, a little bit less rigid, a little bit more relaxed, and kind of just expressing myself, you know, having a little bit more freedom in my movements, in my upper body, and just, you know, kind of dancing with my whole body more so than I am in my competition dress, which is, again, more traditional and more like closer to the roots of Irish dance. But I think that, you know, having the two different personas really helps show that, like, while I'm sticking to, you know, Irish dancing, generally the origins, and, you know, that's still part of me. There's also a part of me that kind of just likes to let loose a little bit and use that training to express myself.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for answering that question. And I think that dovetails nicely into my next question, which is around what you're known for, which is the brilliant adaptation of Irish dance to contemporary pop music. And I was wondering if you could speak to what you listen for in a track in order to inform your choreography?
It's a nice, steady rhythm that really, gets my attention and makes me like automatically kind of subconsciously just start choreographing. Especially if it's a rhythm that I feel like I can accompany very well with the beats that I make with my feet, with my dancing shoes. I think the amazing thing about Irish dancing is that with the slower music, even traditionally, we dance faster to slower music and slower to faster music because we're filling in those beats. And I think that's what's so cool about percussive dance styles like Irish dancing, tap dancing, flamenco, where you're kind of part of the music. And, it's great because I really feel the music. And of course, when I'm freestyling, that's something that I really love about it. It's just it's just that steady rhythm, a solid beat that I feel like I can accompany in a way that makes a complete sound. For me, when I hear a song, I first hear the beats that I will make, and then I choreograph to fit those beats.
That's really interesting. Thank you so much for sharing that. And my final question for you is, in the film, you speak about your first exposure to Irish dance, which was by watching Riverdance, which you are now in. And you also speak about representation and having, dancers who are experimenting in the form like you do, being able to serve as inspiration to Irish dancers who are just getting started. So I would love to hear more about what are your aspirations or hopes for the future of Irish dance?
I have so many aspirations and hopes for the future of Irish dance. I love that even in the time that I've been a part of the Irish dancing community, it has opened up to so many people, and it's grown so much to the point where people now can recognize Irish dance as Irish dance. Whereas when I started, a lot of my friends were like, what is that? I don't know what that is. And of course, with people around me, they know now because they know me. But, I hope that just continues, and Irish dance and culture just continues to spread around the world. More people become aware of the art form, and that everyone just sees Riverdance or Irish dancing and can picture themselves being a part of it. That's really what my hope is, because when I was younger, I had to just kind of imagine myself there. But, now that there's so many people, I'm one of 3 Black dancers now, Irish dancers who have been part of Riverdance, whether it's, doing gigs here and there or touring. So to be able to say that, it's just really shows how much Irish dance has grown over the years, and how even though it has Irish in the name, you don't have to be Irish. And I think that that's the big thing that I hope, comes across when people see this film and see, me up there on stage with Riverdance, doing what I love, enjoying it and being supported. I hope that idea that anyone can do it if you have an appreciation for it, if you acknowledge where it comes from, its origins, and you have respect for the Irish culture, go for it. That's just what I hope, that anyone can see themselves being an Irish dancer.
Thank you so much for that, Morgan. And you certainly are innovating the field, not only Irish dance in it specifically, but I think the way in which you are using social media as a way to build audience and community around dance is so, so important. So on behalf of Jacob's Pillow, we're so honored to have had you participate in this project. And we're really, really excited to continue to witness how you grow and transform the field. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be part of this. And it was so much fun making the project. And I hope that everyone watching it enjoys it and has just as much fun watching it. Thank you.
Love it. Thank you so much, Morgan. Really, thank you.